now to alleged United Healthcare CEO killer Luigi Mangione, now facing new federal charges. A grand jury in New York returned a 4-count indictment against Mangione, charging him with 2 counts of stalking, a firearms offense, and murder with the use of a firearm. The 26-year-old is accused of shooting United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in New York City in December. He's now set to be arraigned in Manhattan federal court next week. Let's bring in legal contributor and trial attorney Brian Buckmeyer. So, Brian, Luigi Mangione already faces state charges. These are federal charges now on top of those state charges. We have heard the Attorney General say that she intends to pursue the death penalty for Luigi Mangione. How do these charges factor into that? Is this just the initial charge, and do you expect more to come about to make that death penalty case stronger, or will she try to get the death penalty on these charges that were just filed?
Yeah, so it's that last part. So with AG Pam Bondi going out and saying that even before we saw these counts in the indictment, that the government will be seeking the death penalty against Luigi Mangione, we can somewhat surmise the type of allegations and charges that he would have faced even without this indictment. But now that we see them, that last charge that you mentioned, the murder with the use of a firearm, does provide the government the ability to say that we are seeking the death penalty because that is a death penalty eligible charge. Some of the issues that the defense are pushing back are saying that the procedures that typically happen and that are supposed to happen, again, due process, should have been followed and wasn't followed. And there are certain arguments that they're making to suggest and to say that the death penalty should be off the table altogether.
So Mangione's defense attorney has already filed a motion calling this a prejudice grand jury process. What is the argument there, and how likely is it to succeed?
So that language that you're quoting comes from a 33-page motion from Karen Agnifilo, the defense attorney for Luigi Mangione. And the thrust of that motion overall is to try to get the death penalty off the table, making various arguments like the quote that you mentioned, as well as saying that the intent of going after Luigi Mangione is arbitrary and capricious. It's not following the typical steps that a federal prosecutor has to go through, especially in the Southern District of New York, and seeking the death penalty. And so she's arguing more form over substance in how the government got to this decision as to seeking the death penalty against Luigi Mangione.
Brian Buckmeyer for us. Brian, thank you as always.